Good morning, my name is Steve North. I'm an Operations Section Chief with Northwest Team 10 with an operational update for Thursday, November 19th. The mission on the fire remains unchanged. We continue to do processing, dozer and line repair in Division Delta. Over in Lima, they're going to be able to complete the Boy Scout camp area today, and they'll continue with the repair on the equestrian trail and the Mount Plover to Molly Lake area. Down in Division Tango, they're doing dozer rehab and chipping, and they'll be working around the Pingree Park up here in CSU campus. We have a crew in there trying to mop up some of the heat that's down lower on the toe of the slope there. Down in X-Ray Yankee, we're complete with all the suppression repair down there. Those resources have been shifted elsewhere in the fire to help that effort. So this morning, I know that I talked about yesterday that we have a little bit of heat up here on the top of the bulge, another heat up on the top third of the slope, that we would really like to get some bucket work done in there. But aviation resources have been very difficult to use on this incident, and I just wanted to give you some information of why that is. So today, the incident meteorologist has downgraded the winds from 70 miles per hour previously predicted, but unfortunately it's still up around the 50 mile per hour range, which makes it way too windy for helicopters to operate safely. There might be a lull in the weather this afternoon, and if we can get those winds safely below 30 miles per hour, we'll engage helicopters to do some bucket work up here and down on these heats down in the bulge. Some other information you might be interested in helicopters. Our helicopters are typed from Type 3, which are the little ones like I took a ride in the other day, up to the Type 1, which is our heaviest helicopters. They can lift the most weight. Some of our helicopters use buckets. Those buckets can range from 250 to 300 gallons to our Type 1 helicopters that can run buckets from 1,000 up to 4,000 gallons. Now, operating aviation resources in this cold and freezing weather has presented additional challenges. We're very hesitant to use helicopters with the buckets that hang underneath of the helicopters for a couple reasons. Number one, we don't like to fly those over people because if there's a problem, the helicopter can't jettison the bucket. So we'd like to keep that over the areas where there's nobody there. And the other problem is that it exposes the mechanisms that drop the water to the freezing temperatures, and we don't want to take the chance of the helicopter taking on water, getting over the fire, and then not being able to drop the load. So what we're using is belly tanks. Our Type 1 is, once again, our most capable aircraft. It carries with it 1,000 gallons. It uses a snorkel to suck water out. The other problem that we're having is, of course, everything's frozen. So up there in Division Lima, up here in the Pingree area, our closest water source is about a 23-minute round trip. 23 minutes there, 23 minutes back. And that is problematic in that we only have about 2 hours of flight time with the helicopters and the amount of fuel they can carry at that elevation. That just means you can do 3 or 4 drops and then you're done and you have to go back to the airport for fuel. So we're going to get at it. We'll put some bucket drops in there if we can, but there's a lot of obstacles that are making that very difficult to do. So with that, that's my morning update. I'll see you back here tomorrow. I did get a question from Debbie, and tomorrow I'll address when we have firefighters sleeping out on the line in our spike camps and that type of terminology. So we'll see you back here tomorrow.